Brandon, I'm going to say yes. If Kyle Shanahan, and I don't even know if this is allowed by the NFL bylaws, is playing fantasy football in a group of his college buddies and some of his high school buddies, and he's like, you know what, second round, I'm going to take Jimmy G, I think he would regret that. If we were playing fantasy football, I think it would be a bad pick. But you know what? We're not. We're playing real football where winning games actually matters. And you know what? If you got to hand the ball off most of the time and it wins the game, well, that matters, okay? I know all the analytics are, he's no good. I know he went to the Super Bowl, but that doesn't count. He wasn't really in the Super Bowl. It's a figment of our imagination. It's an NFT that he went to the Super Bowl. I think it's there, but I'm not sure. He went to the Super Bowl, okay? Just like Patrick Mahomes to the Super Bowl, they both lost. For the record, Kyle Shanahan is 7-27 when Jimmy G is not his starter, okay? Not awesome. Not awesome. He is 22-8 when Jimmy G starts. So yes, Trey Lance is the future. I get it. You spent a lot of draft capital on him. But Jimmy G wins football games. And if you look at the 49ers schedule, if he can get through that rough patch early on, Jimmy G is going to be the quarterback of this team for not a long time, but at least through the season. If he starts losing games, sure, that's not his thing. But I don't think he will. I think he'll be the quarterback throughout the season. I think it will be more akin to Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes. After the end of the season, Jimmy G can go somewhere wonderful and win some games, and Trey Lance will take over. So, no, I don't think he will regret it.
I agree with you, Wiles. He would definitely not regret this decision. Like you pointed, Wiles, the only knock on Jimmy G really is, can he stay healthy? And he's not going to wow you. He's not going to throw for 350 yards a game because he came from learning from Tom Brady. If he's going to hand the ball off and throw dink and dunk routes down the field, that's what he's going to do. All he's going to do is win games. His stats is not going to be pretty and it's not going to be sexy. But while he's out there going over these check downs and throwing to the tight end, the Kittles on short out routes, you can best believe Shanahan will be telling Trey Lance in his ear, like, listen, I know he threw it to the tight end here, but I want you to throw the long ball. This is what I brought you in for. So Jimmy G is going to get his reps. He's going to play all year. He's going to win if he stays healthy. But Trey Lance is going to be getting tutored by Shanahan on the sideline on what he wants Trey Lance to do once he steps on the field. It kind of reminds me when Alex Smith went to the NFC Championship, and yes, he's a winner, but Harbaugh still liked what Kaepernick was going to bring to the team when it comes to being more explosive as an offense. So, yes, Jimmy G is going to be the starter. He's not going to regret it, but they can't wait to make that switch to be more explosive as an offense.
Yeah, so I think this will surprise Wilds because Wilds is forever in love with Jimmy G, and I am not quite so much. But I don't think you'll regret this either. What I think needs to happen for this to be successful is for Kyle Shanahan to be more flexible than the great and Super Bowl champion Andy Reid was in that season that Wilds is alluding to. Because in that season, that was a very good Chiefs team that had been to the playoffs years prior. They were like, Mahomes isn't ready. And then out of practice, it kept week by week. And most people didn't see this, obviously, because nobody cared about the Chiefs back before Mahomes started playing. And people aren't reading the Kansas City Star, but I am. I'm from there. Every week, it was like, wow, this kid is getting better and better. And Alex Smith was Alex Smith. And the Chiefs started off well and then went into a slump. And then they go into the playoffs and there's no real Super Bowl threat at all because you knew they were limited at the quarterback position and they end up losing to Marcus Mariota in Kansas City in round one. I say all that to say this. I think most people feel like Jimmy G will start all year unless he gets hurt and then they'll give it to Trey Lance. I don't think you should need some massive losing streak in order to potentially turn the reins over. I just think you need to see enough from Trey in practice to know the moment's not going to be too big for him. That even if the Niners are 7-4, if Trey Lance is all like, okay, he's got the playbook now. Because also keep in mind, didn't really play last year because of the COVID stuff. He's from a small school, so I do think that the jump is going to be massive. I just think Shanahan, what I know is the Niners can't win the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo. I know Wild's like, but they almost did. Yeah, they almost did, and they didn't. And by the way, the Niners that year could have won the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo. Team's not as good. They don't have quite the same weapons on either side of the balls they had the year they went to the Super Bowl, and their defense is not as dominant. And Robert Saleh's gone, and DeForest Buckner's gone. Like, it's not the same team. So you're going to need more out of your quarterback. So I just think he needs the flexibility of, even if we're playing well, once I know, and if that makes Jimmy G upset, so be it. He'll still have, you writing him love letters to soften the blow.
So Brandon, I think it's weird if we can throw up the schedule again. If he wins those games against some great quarterbacks and then have the bye, that would be the natural time to bring Trey Lance in. But if he beats the Packers and he beats the Seahawks and he beats Kyler Murray, I don't know how you're like, all right, let's bring Trey Lance in. Trey's been playing great to play a great defense against the Colts. Or do you want to play Khalil Mack? Or then you're going to play the Rams? Like, I don't know when you bring him in. And we know Brian Flores did this. Fitzpatrick was winning, but he felt like a one-year rental, and Tua was the future. Flores still made the move. We're like, kind of a head-scratcher. Fitzpatrick was winning. He was a pro about it. But then as the year went on, all of a sudden it was the old switcheroo. Tua's back on the bench. Fitzpatrick's in the fourth quarter. Now, look, Tua doesn't seem any worse for wear, and Fitzpatrick's doing well in Washington. But it was an odd situation. So the question I have for you is this. If Jimmy G is winning, do you think it's too weird to take out a winning quarterback and bring in a rookie?
It would definitely be weird. Every team Ryan Fitzpatrick been to for the last 5 years knew he was pretty much going to be a rental. Jimmy G was brought in to be the franchise guy. So if he's winning, Shanahan knows this isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. I think he will want to have Jimmy G have a very successful season where his trade value will go up even more and just say, hey, next year, that's when we will ride Trey Lance. We'll get so much capital for Jimmy G because he finished the season. You've seen where he took us in the playoffs. Now we can go with our young guy, Trey Lance, and we can also get a draft pick or some collateral, some players for Jimmy G once he had a great season this year.
That's a fair point, and that is what the Chiefs did. And they ended up getting a good return for Alex Smith. And maybe this is just the bitterness is the wrong word, but the longing as a Chiefs fan. I feel like Mahomes' rookie year, they could have gone to the Super Bowl if they would have made that quarterback switch. Now, Trey Lance isn't Patrick Mahomes, but I still feel like that was a missed opportunity. And also, Jenna, I know you were speaking euphemistically, but you said poker, so it piqued my interest. Just to be clear, if Jimmy Garoppolo is watching, I would not rob a bank with Jimmy Garoppolo, but I would absolutely play poker with him. Super rich guy that you can read exactly his face. Yeah, come on. You're invited every time. We can do it at B-Flow's house in South Florida in the offseason. He's the perfect poker guy. You're invited to all the games, Jimmy. You got all the money in the world, and I know exactly what's going on. Yeah, he can join us as well.
To the poker game.
Absolutely.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.